Hey guys, this is Cheney180, and today we're going to be taking a look at the SH Figuarts Dragonball Xenoverse Trunks. Now, initially, I'm not familiar with this version of Trunks too much. I know he was in the game. I never played the games, so yeah, there is that. Still, I like the look of the figure. There's some articulation hang-ups that, really do take the quality of the figure down a couple notches. But we'll get into those in a little bit. As always, as you should, Trunks comes with this sword. As you can see, it's painted very nicely. Everything looks good on it. He comes with quite a bit of hands and a decent amount of accessories. So first off, he comes with this scroll kind of thing here. It fits into that hand, or it's supposed to. I can't seem to make it fit correctly, so I don't know. I may be doing something wrong. I don't know if it's supposed to be held like that or, possibly held like this, but it doesn't want to fit. So that's where I'm at on that. But you get two hands like that to try and, maybe that's what they're for. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. You also get two-fisted hands, as you can see here, and then you get two open hands for shooting blasts or whatnot. And it's cool that they actually did continue the sculpt on all hands for the gloves, which looks nice. It's nice to see that uniformity there. And we also get this extra face, just blank stare. Everything looks good. Paint apps on it look good. And we get this cool Super Saiyan head here with a screaming face. And we also get this cringing face. And I wanted to point out I like that these are nice soft plastic. Looks good. Paint apps on it look really nice. Sculpt is really nice. I dig what they did here. And the same on this head as well. You can move those around. So let's get into articulation here. The head is on a ball joint here, and then you also have a ball joint on the neck in there as well. So you can get him to look down fairly far. Look up, not so much. Let me straighten that out. That's about all you get for looking up. But looking down is pretty good. And you can pivot it around and whatnot. Now the arms here, you've got this kind of like socket joint, and for some reason these sleeves don't really want to move. This one seems to move around a little bit sometimes, but it's really hard to get it to move the way it's supposed to, or the way it looks like it's supposed to. This one's just locked into position and it won't move. But you can still get a decent amount of movement there. The joints are super tight all along this. You've got all the, same colored plastic here. There is some paint on the buckles, or the buttons in that buckle there. But, as you can hear, these are really, really tight joints. And this is going to come into play down here and make it a problem. We've got bicep swivel up here at the shoulder, got a bicep swivel down here, double hinge elbow, and then our normal, ball joint for the wrist. Now, the thing about this is because the joints are so tight, I actually had to slide off this sleeve piece to get this to swivel around to get the hand to move back and forth that way rather than up and down. So I had to slide this off because I can't get this peg here down low enough at an angle where I can move it in fear of not breaking it. If you can, that's awesome. Hopefully yours isn't, the joint isn't as tight as mine, but hopefully that works out better for you than it did for me. Now we do get this top torso joint here and a bottom torso joint, which allows that much movement crunching forward and that much movement back, which isn't too bad. And you can pivot side to side. Now, this part right here is really annoying. It's like a tough plastic, and it makes it really hard to get him into dynamic poses. It's fairly easier with this right leg because you can kind of bring it up through there. And you do get the drop down method here, but you just got like bare joints there. They didn't put any sculpt in there whatsoever, which for the most part you're not going to see underneath there, so it's not that big of a deal. But the tough plastic here makes it hard to get him to, you know, get his leg up or kick very high. You could do it with the right leg, but the left leg is nearly impossible because you got all of that. So it doesn't look very clean, doesn't flow well. You get a, I might have mentioned, you get the drop down there. You get a thigh swivel, you get a double hinge knee. You don't get any kind of boot cut there. Another annoying piece here is they just put a ball joint in for the foot. So there is no actual, you know, or double ball, or just a ball peg. So there's no real ankle pivot. There's no, you know, anything. You get very minimum here. I mean, that's not bad, but when you come over here, you're not getting that much at all. You get a toe joint, but that's it. So, you know, if you want to spread his legs out far, you're not going to get him to stand correctly. It just doesn't look right. So that's another issue there. Other than that, I mean, you know, I still am a fan of the character Trunks. But those are definitely some things that are definitely hang-ups for me that I do not appreciate and I do not like with the figure. It seems like the figure overall was kind of rushed. So here he is next to the Cell Saga Trunks. As you can see, they're about the same height. And then here he is next to the original release Trunks. And as you can see, he's considerably shorter. All in all, at the end of the day, unless you're, you know, a die-hard Dragon Ball Xenoverse fan, a die-hard Dragon Ball Figuarts fan, or a die-hard Trunks fan, you probably shouldn't spend the money on this figure. If you're like, oh, you know, maybe this is my first Trunks figure, get this one instead. You know, but if you need the heads don't swap out, so that's another thing. You can fudge it, but it doesn't work necessarily. You know, I'm trying to be as honest as I can here with you guys. If you don't absolutely need this figure, don't buy it. It's not, you know, it's not really worth the money. Me, I'm a fan of Trunks and Dragon Ball. I still like the way the figure looks. I'm still going to try and fudge it and get into some good poses, maybe get some good pictures with it. But overall, at the end of the day, I wouldn't highly recommend this figure. It's definitely not, I've seen Figuarts do a lot better. So that's where it's at. Thanks for watching, guys. Feel free to click like, leave me a comment, and subscribe. Take it easy.